Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. 2022. C-Dub. Jay is back in the house. Clay is back in the house. Big Al is back in the house. Man, Clay, I don't even know where to start. I had a relaxing off season, brother. I got away from football. I tried, to just chill for a little bit. But you know what, man? When we get to the end of April, we start approaching June, July. We already know what time it is. So, Clay, man, you didn't have no time off, man. You've been 7 on 7 it every week.
Man, it's been nonstop for me, man. Between after the YNC, then rolling into showcases, and then rolling into 7 on 7. I mean, you know, it's been nonstop, Jonah. I've been football year round, man, and still trying. You know how it is, trying to balance the family thing. Still got to be a dad. Still got to be a husband. All that jazz. Still got to be a coach because I coach a 7 on 7 org. But I tell you what, man, as we get closer and closer to July and August,
Yes,
man,
sir.
the clay that starts forming on these youth organizations, man, it gets clearer and clearer. So many changes, so many mergers, so many breakups. I mean, youth football is like a real live soap opera, man.
Man, Clay, you just touching the iceberg. Well, we talk about some of these organizations that, and then we'll get into that. What are the breakups about? Is it ego? Is it? I mean, in some areas, even here, like in South Florida, on one particular street, there's like three different organizations. And we'll talk about why is that. Why would there be, three different organizations within a 2 mile radius? Why couldn't those teams really come together and compete? Listen, because let's be honest, Clay, local Super Bowls don't really count anymore. Not discounting what leagues do locally, not
Nah.
discounting how they put it down. But to say you're a Super Bowl winner doesn't carry the weight like when you and I played youth football. To be the Super Bowl champ of your league meant something. You know what I'm saying? Now it seems like a Super Bowl win is just a preliminary for you to get to your state championship, and from your state championship to get to nationals. So is that another reason why these teams are just kind of really just kind of gravitating to the national field versus the local leagues now?
Well, it's funny because I was talking to one of my boys about this the other day. And the reality of it is this: youth football has evolved so much from even when I first started coaching. When I first started coaching, man, it was about being the best, like you talked about, in your league, in your city, or something like that, right?
Right.
And then we've evolved a little bit. As you watch Friday Night Tykes and you watch the San Antonio Outlaws, then we started playing on the national scene with Snoop. But that was still only a segment of the national scene. That might have been maybe 3 or 4 states. Now you come full circle with what we've done with the YNC, and then you got to take your hat off to AYF. You got to take your hat off to UYFL. You got to take your hat off to Pop Warner, who kind of originated, you know, the landscape of the full national scene. Now, to be considered the best, you've got to play everybody from every state. I mean, and we're not talking about, of course, you got your powerhouse states. You've got Texas, you got Georgia, you got Florida, you got California, you got Alabama. But now you got to play guys from Kentucky that can really ball. You got to
Right.
play guys from Utah that can really ball.
Right.
Washington. Next thing you know, you playing a team from Nebraska. You playing a team from Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean, sooner or later we're gonna be playing teams from Wyoming. I
Yeah.
mean, the game has truly changed, and the thing that I've noticed is that along with the 7 on 7 piece, you see these teams from everywhere, man. Man, we had a team come down to a battle tournament from Idaho, fam, from
Wow.
Idaho, and it was an all-black team. And I didn't even know they had
Stop
niggas
lying.
in Idaho. I was like, niggas in Idaho? What the fuck? And they could ball, bro. So what I'm
Right.
saying is, as everything continues to grow and evolve, youth football becomes more competitive.
Right.
And now, like you said, winning your local league or your city league or what used to be a rec league, man,
Yeah.
nobody is giving credit to that anymore. I mean,
Wow.
if you in the DMV, you have to prove you the best in the DMV. And then after you
Right.
leave the DMV, you've got to beat somebody from the Midwest. Then you got to beat
Right.
somebody from the SEC. Then you got to come beat somebody from Texas, California. It's changed, man. It's just changed.
Right.
And I love it.
Right.
I love it because
Right.
these same kids that they are competing against, these are the same kids that they're going to have to compete against across the country when it's time to get their scholarship to play in college.
Well, definitely they connecting the dots way earlier than before. You know, high schools have been doing it, but to see it, it's really common now in youth football is for you to play teams. It's common for you to get on an airplane. It's common for you to get on a plane. It's what's uncommon now is if you just really play in your local league, you know, then you're a standout team. And I think a lot of the local powerhouse teams have lost kids to teams that travel. So, for example, let's just say you're a team here in Florida and they know you're traveling. Are those parents quicker to gravitate to your team because they know they competing for a national championship?
I mean, I think they are because here's the deal. Remember the old saying that youth football not getting nobody any offers? Well, you really can't say that now.
Right,
And I'm not saying if your kid is a stud in youth football, they're going to get offers. But what I can tell
right,
you is this: the kids that are shining in youth football are getting their offers earlier, right? They are getting on the list, they are getting on the radar a lot sooner. So there is a path to the light at the end of the tunnel. I tell people all the time. I mean, look at Kane Archer. I would never, ever, ever take credit for anything Kane Archer has done because the
right.
kid is phenomenal. The kid has put in a ton of work, and the kid has earned everything he has. But
Absolutely.
that very first offer, the coach even said it. The first time I saw Kane Archer was on the live stream of the YNC National Championship, and that's
Right.
when I said we've got to look into this kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all the media, all the Gen Next stream, and all the under the radar, AG going out and giving us this platinum streaming, service that we have. All of this stuff factors into the bigger picture. I mean, don't get me wrong, parents and adults, man, the egos, man, all that sort of stuff has kind of watered down youth football. But along with the bad, there is a lot of good with the new age of youth football.
By the way, Clay, 2022, we are talking about some teams that's really doing some things that's different. No better than you can start off talking about the Golden Army, who has never really participated in a YNC event, preseason or national championship thus far. But they made the commitment early. They're saying, listen, we've seen these other teams compete for national championships. We've seen them build their teams to compete on a national level. And then what do we mean by that when you say a team's compete for a national level? Well, some teams used to be satisfied with just getting the kids that show up at your park and coach that squad, right? That's what we consider a local team. Then what we consider a national team is when you bring in kids from different counties or different cities in your particular area who you feel are the best at their position, and you compete for a national championship. So listen, we're going to introduce right on the line right now, Clay, Coach Herschel from the Golden Army 13 and under, and he's going to tell you what they're gearing their team up to do in 2022. Waiting for him to get cued in real quick. Let me hold on. Oh, so my producer says, "Hey, I don't have him on just yet." So we'll hear from them in a second. But since keying right into that, you talk about the Golden Army, they've taken their pride to play in Miami-Dade, Dade County. They've went out, they've ventured, they've played in some national championships. Well, they want to jump out to. We're going to start talking about the three big national championships, or I want to say national championship contenders are going to be in three states early this season. Clay, we're going to talk about Alabama. We're going to talk about Houston. We're going to talk about California. So they want to definitely chase the national champion, which is the DEA
Well,
13 and under team, right? Over there in Texas.
DEA. DEA. That's the top of everybody's list, Jonah.
Right,
Dragons Elite Academy. And
right,
here's the thing, man. When I tell you, when we put the invite at Youth National Championship email out there for people to kind of send a email, send their body of work, send their request to try to be considered for one of the slots in Alabama, Texas, or California. When I tell you the email has been flooded, it's been flooded. It's not even it's been so many emails that it's not myself that's retained. We've got three different
right.
people going through emails, communicating with coaches, asking, hey, we know you're interested. Can you send us back, your body of work from last fall? Can you send us back your head coach's cell phone number? I'm seeing and hearing about teams that we've never heard before. So, for example, I heard about a team out of Atlanta I've never heard before First thing I did, I jumped on the phone with Howard, jumped on the phone with DeMarcus, jumped on the phone with Reggie. I need to find out if these teams are legit or if they're just blowing smoke. But if we talking about 13U, baby, let me tell you this right here. Golden Army, they better be ready to come with it.
Yeah.
Because not only do they have to worry about DEA, the defending YNC national champion in Houston, they also got to worry about one of the biggest monsters in their own backyard, Lauderhill Lions, who will be in Houston for the preseason. Now, can't stop there, Jonah, because I've been hearing a lot of rumbling that the best kids in the state of Louisiana have decided to join forces and put
Yeah.
together a 13U that they feel like can knock off DEA and the Golden Army by the name of the Louisiana Wave will be in
Yeah.
Houston on the 13U level. Man, it's finna get stupid, bro. It's finna get stupid.
Yeah. Houston is going to be crazy, man. So Alabama, you talk about Maryland Heat coming down to Alabama. You talk about your boy Howard coming over there defending his national championship off rip out of Alabama. Cruddy boys coming over there representing Alabama. So it's going to be exciting coming out. And I like it that we kind of slowed it down in the preseason. Last year we were all over the place, 5 different states in 5 different weeks. This time we get to really focus on those teams that's going to be playing because we want to really get them in a good position for their rankings. And we already tell them, hey, we know preseason, where do you judge your teams? Well, we get to see personnel. We get to see coaching. We get to see those teams that, how they're going to compete on a national scene early. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And then you talk about new organizations that's launched this year. Let's go in the state of Georgia. Atlanta Elite. Clay, give me the background on it. There's some of your personal friends that they were different teams last year. They were national champions last year, as a matter of fact. And they were formerly known as RDU. This year, they switch over, create a new organization. You're talking about Atlanta Elite. What can we expect from Atlanta Elite this year as a new organization?
So it's been a lot of buzz out of Atlanta. Of course, you've got RDU, which was Organization of the Year. If my memory serves me correctly, I think RDU took maybe 3, 4 national championships last year, something like that. And for those of you that don't understand, the Youth National Championship has put itself in a position to where that national champion holds more weight than any other national champion, right? So when you're talking about you've won 3 or 4 national championships at the YNC, man, you talking about something that is rare as winning what do they call it, the Triple Crown in
Yeah.
horse racing or something like that. I mean,
Very
it's
few
just
teams have done
that
it.
rare. Yeah, it's just that rare. So what has happened is, like all great organizations, some people have decided to kind of go their separate way, and it's not no different than when Reggie himself, who is the backbone of RDU, the founder of RDU, he won his national championships at ABA and then decided to step out on his own and start something different.
Yeah.
You got a group of guys that have won a couple national championships at RDU and they decided to step out and kind of do their own thing and call it Atlanta Elite. So it's going to be interesting to see how that evolution evolves in Atlanta. One thing that I find very, very interesting is that a lot of these mergers are also happening with teams that they had beef with before. Because remember when we was in Atlanta preseason, the beef between RDU and Hakeville.
Right.
You remember that? And I
Right.
think
Do I?
now some of that merger has kind of come together as well. And then I'm also hearing rumbles. I started hearing rumbles today about CD Jaguars 12U.
Right.
That it's a combination of 3 teams.
Right.
That's a combination of CD Jaguars, it's a combination of Hakeville, and a combination of Falcons United.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to take it, Jonah. Because here's the question I have for you.
Yeah.
Jonah, let's say you back in South Florida, you coaching again, right? And you one of those coaches where you coaching 2 teams.
Correct.
You coaching a 13U and you coaching an 8U.
Yeah.
Your 13U is filled up with the best kids in the city. So you got a stud loaded team and you go undefeated, right?
Right.
But then your 18U, which is maybe just be the kids from the local park, losing record, 2-5, something like that. How good of a
Right.
coach are you really?
It's true. What type of coach are you?
I mean, everybody look good when they're a front runner. But I
Right.
will say this, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how things evolve. I mean, because like I said, CD Jags done made some changes. Atlanta Elite done made some changes. Hell, even RDU done made some changes. But you can't
Right.
forget about that goddamn Marcus. That goddamn Marcus and that motherfucking rare breeds. Hey, hey, you can't talk about Atlanta U football without mentioning the rare breeds now.
Listen,
Please
Demarcus is
excuse me.
loaded. They not only loaded up their particular age group, but they loaded up as the organization. So look for Rare Breed to just really make some waves from top to bottom. So, in the offseason, he was really just really going out to get some of the top kids at that particular. But here's the plus and the minus, though, Clay, what I would have to ask you. We talk about sometimes your merging teams, right? And when you're a really dominant team in your particular area, it's usually some alpha males, not only on the coaching staff, but on the team as well as individual players. That doesn't always mean because I got the top 100 play over here and the top 100 play over here, that's going to work on the football field. Because you got some daddies that be in the stands counting carries like, oh, man, my son only got 3 carries. Man, I don't know if this is going to work out. Oh, my son, you know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of mixed personalities of dominant, headstrong teams trying to come in together and be one team. Doesn't always work. You know what I'm saying? So now I hear you talk about this 12 and under team, right? You talk about Falcons United. You talk about CDJ. These are teams that used to play each other. Listen, I say it all the time. And in the pro level, they brought Thurman Thomas down to play, who was a Buffalo Bill, to play on the Miami Dolphins. Just because he was a great running back at the Bills, that used to be his nemesis, man, the Dolphins. So the team
Yeah.
that you wanted to fight and go against every week, now all of a sudden y'all teammates, does that work on a national level?
It's hard. It's hard because the one thing you and I have and I've witnessed this year in, year out. Just because you start with a particular team in the preseason don't mean you end the preseason with that team. Like you said, you got these stupid ass daddies in the stands counting carries. You got these coaches who done lied to these parents and promised them the world and can't deliver. So now Timmy that's been on team A all preseason when regular season start, now he on team B. So it's always a drama fest on that. I tell it like this, man. If parents sit back and let the coaches coach and stay out of it, it is what it is. But there's so many other different factors, man. You got coaching, you got daddy ball that come to a factor. You got niggas who playing the kid who got the finest mom on the team. I mean, you got guys who they playing the kid because they got one of the daddies is the big doughboy and he the one financing everything. I mean, it's a lot of different factors that we don't want to talk about though. I mean, let's just keep it
And
real.
audience, this is why this is called Rankins Uncut. We're gonna give it to you
Hey, I
uncut,
mean,
all right?
let's keep it real, Jonah. If hey,
Right,
if you coaching the team
right.
and the boy coming out, his mama fine as fuck. Guess what? This nigga either playing quarterback or he running the ball. I mean, it just is what it is, right? Now you got a stud coming to the team, right? And he best friends with the head coach and this and that. They daddy balling, they best friend balling, all that shit. I mean that factors into it too,
But Clay,
man.
I don't
Uh,
I don't know if that really happens on the power teams because there's not really no room for that.
Shit,
It's not really
man,
there's
stop
not
it,
room for them
stop
power.
it, Jonah.
Now, when
So,
you got
hey
those middle
man,
of the
did you
road,
hit your head in South
listen,
Florida?
listen. When you got the middle of the road teams, that's probably the case. But when you got those power teams, it really ain't no time for the mamas to have room to be doing no shot calling. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
So,
tell you what, man. Have you seen? Now you ain't seen them new leggings that crunch up and go in the booty. You ain't seen them new
oh,
leggings. I done seen them leggings change a whole starting roster. A whole starting roster. Shit. Hey, some
oh,
good leggings and a good BBL. Hey, your son
right.
can be a 5-star in youth football.
Oh
Shit.
man. So listen,
Shit.
man. Let's talk about from national champions that took last year. That there's some national champions that won't be returning. We talk about the Louisville 13 and under. They were 12U last year. They were one of the most dominant teams for the last 3 years in a row, winning 10U, 11U, and 12U. 12U, they got derailed the first game against the Lauderhill Lions in the YNC National Championships at a bracket. You're talking about high seed versus low seed. Lauderhill came in scraping and at the number 8 seed, if I'm not mistaken. That was a big bracket, so they could almost been at the number 10 seed. playing the number
Yeah,
one seed.
yeah,
But then the number one seed comes into that game a little undermanned. And what do I mean undermanned? Not just manned, but man, probably arguably one of the best players at that particular age group last year. Kimura, you talk about Sequoia, excuse me, one of the most dominant players in any age group. He's really a game
yeah,
changer, not
yeah.
on just offense,
Sekou was hurt.
defense, and
Yeah.
special teams. We see would they miss him? That was the question going into that game. He didn't suit up, and man, what a difference it made. I mean, they've played Lauderhill Lions before, beat Lauderhill Lions when they played in Atlanta, but it was no contest. Lauderhill Lions jumped out on the Chargers early and didn't turn back. So this year, I've seen a couple posts. I haven't really got the opportunity to speak with Juju, but we kind of heard some rumblings that they weren't bringing the team back. They're just going to go straight to high school. How do you talk about a team that really in the Kentucky area, football, he really put youth football on the map. You got to give Louisville Chargers a shout out a million times, really putting Kentucky on the map. When we first introduced them to America, they were like laughing at us saying, man, it's a basketball state with a dominant team. Now, was that a team or was that really a one-man show, Clay, after we saw how they got dismantled? Now, in Chargers defense, Clay, after that one loss to the Lauderhill Lions, they played the consolation games and won all the way out. They played against the Steelers out of Georgia. They had a dominant performance even without one of the best players in the country. So was that a one-man show? And would you really wanted to see them come back and kind of defend or try to get that get back against Lauderhill or anybody else, for example? Because we really thought that national championship picture was going to be DEA versus
We thought
Louisville Chargers.
DEA
It didn't turn out
and
that way.
Louisville. I mean, everybody thought that. We thought DEA versus Louisville. So first off, let me say this, man. You got to take your hat off to what Coach Jew and that entire Charger coaching staff accomplished. Because, like you said, at that particular time, nobody was looking in Louisville, Kentucky for a national champion. They
Right,
came in that year and took the YNC by storm, and probably one of the best national championship games I ever saw between them and Falcons United went
right,
down to the wire. There's no way that you can say that that's a one-man team because they won without Sekou, they won with Sekou. They won without Jaha, they won with Jaha. If you ever watched that team was well coached from top to bottom. They was
right,
big, they was fast, they was strong, they flew around the ball. Now, what went wrong in Florida? I can't necessarily point out one particular thing that went wrong in Florida. But the one thing I can say is this, and I think because we're human, man, we're all subject to it. A lot of times you can become too good for your own self. And that
right,
might have been a situation with that particular team. I'm very disappointed that those guys aren't coming back because honestly, I felt like this year, after being a two-time YNC national champion and then being reduced to the consolation champion, I thought they was going to come in a lot more focused, a lot more
right,
driven, and change some things. Now, got to take your hat off to the Lauderhill Lions. They had an
right.
excellent game plan in place
They
for
did.
the Louisville Chargers. And it's
Yeah,
funny because I had talked to Coach Chop a little bit before, and he was like, Clayton, all I've been doing is watching film on the Louisville Chargers for the past month.
right,
And even the best coach has tendencies, even the best team, has weak spots. So when you're watching a month's worth of film on a team and you are a real coach, because that's one thing Chopkin is, he's a real coach.
right,
You can pinpoint some things. And one thing I'll always say, I don't give a damn what nobody say. If you got a team from South Florida, you filled with athletes. So you
right.
can make things happen.
Yeah,
So, again, but I understand why they're not coming back. At the end of the day, the
right,
most important thing is the development of these kids. If you got
right,
7 to 8 players that's finna go play varsity football as freshmen, man, ain't no need to do a 13U. You let
right,
those kids get in their high school program, you let those kids go shine, and you let those kids be great and go earn those offers. Because at the end of the day,
one,
that film on that varsity team is what's going to get them the offers. Now,
right,
here's the thing we got to take consideration. Sometimes the best team don't always win. I got a
right.
personal opinion about a team that's coming back this year that is a YNC runner-up. But I'm not going to voice that opinion because in my position, I can't voice that opinion. But I will say this. If they come back and
Right,
win the national title this year,
right,
I'm going to have this look on my face.
right. and that's all, and you'll give
I
it a
told
hint.
you so without telling you so face.
Right,
Right there.
right,
That's
right.
what that is.
Well, speaking of a team that we feel is going to be a front runner for national championships, hey man, let's welcome to the mic Coach DeMarcus Flanagan out of the ATL, Rare Breed's own CEO and president of the program. Welcome to the show, Big Brother
Oh
D.
shit.
Yo, yo.
Hey
Yo,
Mark. Hey
What's
Mark,
what's
up,
listen,
good
man?
with
dog.
you?
Listen, man. You a three-time
Huh?
national champion, man. Shave that nappy shit off your face, man. You a three-time national champion. What the fuck, man?
Hell nah, that's part of it. That's part of the secret.
So
Nah,
that's not,
man, we in grind mode on the regular, man.
yeah, yeah. So
Hey,
listen,
look, I
Coach.
can barely hear y'all, but I wanted y'all to make sure you added the three-time national champion. You know what I mean? I don't think it been done at different ages, so wanted to make sure you added me. I'm gonna show you why though. I'm gonna
Hey,
show you. I'm finna take you into why we are three-time national champions at Red Breed. Like, look, peep this. Peep the scene. This is a Rare Breeds coaches meeting. Yeah. Every Thursday. That Clay? Every Thursday.
Okay.
This is it right here. This the why. This the why behind it. Look. This the why. This the why behind it right here. You see this? Yeah. This is why we national champions right here. Right. I'm gonna get over here so
I
I can
see.
hear you again. But for everybody in the country who wondering why, this is why. Every Thursday, we do this. We meet up,
Right.
we game plan, we get ready to take over the country again. So,
so Coach Mark, let me ask you this, man. Jonah and I was
what's up?
talking a little bit earlier. We was talking a little bit earlier about all the changes in the landscape in Atlanta. Tell me
Uh
what
huh.
Rare Breed has done to adapt to all these team mergers and changes that's the shifting that's been going on in the A.
Man, one thing for sure, man, if it's movement, you know we heavily a part of it. So, Hateville, formerly Hateville, that be 8U this year. They're now Red Breeds. College Park, formerly College Park. They'll be Red Breeds 7U. I-12U picking up some major pieces right now to make sure they're up for the contention at the national stage. 11U, man, I wish 11U around the country would breathe wrong. If they breathe wrong, Clay, man, like we pulling up on it, like straight up.
Hey, well,
In fact,
hold on. Let me pause you on that. Put the phone to your ear. So this preseason,
uh
we
huh,
got at the YNC,
yes
we
sir,
got the 11U, we got the 11U national champion Rare Breeds versus the AYF national champions RCU. Talk to me about
yes sir.
that
All
matchup,
right,
man.
so look, listen what I got to say about that. We actually want the trophy. We don't want the game to say who won. No, we want to leave with their trophy.
Oh
So when
boy.
they sign up for this game, make sure they know their hardware is on the line. We want them to have to go back to their kids and say, we lost the trophy by messing with Rare Breeds. Straight up. Straight up. We
God damn,
truly
dog.
want the trophy.
So
Straight
hey,
up and down.
So
What's up?
Demarcus, if you had so going over the Houston this year, YNC, when y'all get off the plane, what's the mindset you about to tell all these Red Breeds how to rep? You know, going out of state, this is gonna be one of their big first trips, setting the tone for
Man,
2022.
one thing about us, man, like they coach, man, I take it as real disrespect when teams even feel like they can line up against us. So we coming off of that bus like on the mindset that they don't respect us. They don't respect us. They willing to put their trophy on the line against the number one team in the country. Not number one 11U, number one team in the country. So with that being said, man, we take it as disrespect. We take the Michael Jordan approach. We find anything to fuel us, anything to trigger us to make us play at our best.
So you
So
know who's gonna be looking over your shoulder. You know who's gonna be looking over
Who's
your
that?
shoulder because they're gonna be there and taking on some big games themselves.
I'm gonna give it to
Southeast
you now.
Dallas
All right, look,
Wolverines.
my prediction.
Southeast
My
Dallas
prediction.
Wolverines.
My prediction right now, live. NSP. Well, I think they call TME now. I ain't gonna disrespect them. They call TME now. Will knock off SCD at that preseason tournament.
Woo!
You heard it
What?
here
Wow!
first.
What?
Wow!
You heard it here
Wow!
first.
Oh
I
boy.
little brother them. I little brother them.
Yeah.
Formerly NSP, now TME. I little brother them. Will
Right.
knock off I little cousin them. SCD. Heard it here, loud and clear.
Damn. In their
Straight
home
like
state.
that.
In their
And
home state.
look.
God
I gotta
damn.
put this out there just so to be clear. This is
Yeah.
not a Moffitt live. This is not Moffitt
Right.
getting on here blowing smoke, telling y'all we gonna do this and do this. No. This is Coach Mark. I stand on everything
Right.
I done said. Like we 4 years strong and me standing on everything I done said. Can you agree,
Right.
Clayton? Can you agree, Jonah?
I
I
feel
don't
you.
think I've been on here and told you nothing that I ain't stand on.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
this rare breeze, Big Mark, let y'all
Hey,
know,
hey,
yes.
I and y'all made me eat my words because I definitely was going with SED. So y'all made me eat my words
I
for sure.
know, I already know. We heard the Texas in your voice. We heard the Texas in your voice and heart leading up to it. Hey, look, I told
Oh.
my kids, I said, we got to make Clayton say our name like he's speaking of them folks from Texas. Man, we was on a mission for that.
Man.
So
Hey.
when you jump out there this year, we want to make sure you say our name like you was saying their name.
Rare breed. The
Rare
best team in the
breed.
universe.
Hey, listen, it's a brand name, man. Like Pepsi, Coca-Cola and shit, man. It's a brand name.
Hey, DeMarcus, man. Hey, well, we appreciate you locking in with us, man. We got to jump to a couple more guests, man. Well, congratulations on an amazing 2021 season, man. We look for y'all to rep on 2022 and hold that #1 spot down. That YNC brand, that Wear Breeze brand. I know y'all gonna wear it well, brand. So we looking forward to see y'all out there in Houston and representing right now. You know,
Nah,
taking on
man,
any
no,
other #1 team that want to line up at that age group.
no doubt, man. Looking forward to it, man. Can't wait, man. We're gonna put on the show for the world to see.
Save us some wings over there with the coaches, bet.
One more
Save
time,
us some of them chicken wings and Marcus from with the coaches.
man. For sure, man. For sure, man. You touch down, make sure
All
you
right,
call me
fam.
first, man.
You already know. When I'm in your city, I'm gonna hit you up.
Okay. I'm gonna let my
All right,
coaches
say
scream
less.
one more time before we get off, so y'all see us working, man. We working, man. We in the lab. Hey, man, rare coaches, man. Scream, man. Make some noise, man. Big rap shit.
Yeah, they
Big
working
rap
real
shit.
hard, man. You see
Big
all that
rap
Hennessy on the table,
shit.
Clayton.
Pop y'all shit, man. All right,
They're
Oh
man.
working
We
real
shit.
out,
hard,
man. We
coach.
out.
All right, man. Later,
All
Mark.
right, fam. Oh man, so listen, man, it's getting a little late in the evening. We're gonna jump and keep it moving right now. We're gonna talk to Coach Herschel with the Golden Army 13U. Got some news to kind of update you. They've actually added some players to this team, Clay. It's not the same Golden Army team you've seen in years past. Let's welcome to the show, Coach Herschel from Golden Army 13U.
What's going on, John? What's going on?
What it do, Big Hirsch?
I'm chilling,
What it do?
chilling.
What it do?
What's going
I'm
on?
getting a view of the top of the building right now. I'm seeing
Oh
the
yeah,
South
yeah,
Florida
yeah.
skies
Cause my
over there. I
speaker
see
low.
you.
What's going on though? I'm here.
Okay. Now,
Hey, so
Coach,
Coach
well,
Herschel. Go ahead, Jonah. Go ahead.
Coach Herschel, we want to just jump in, Richard, real quick. Everybody has an idea of what the Golden Army is and what they have been. This year it's a different squad, kind of catch America up on what we can expect from the Golden Army 13 and under team this year.
Oh well, I'm gonna just say it like this. Everybody thinking it's the same team from last year. We got some great additions from the Cypress and Lakes team. So don't think it's the same team that's coming in to play some football.
Hey, Coach. So
So
let me ask you this, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I've heard that the Golden Army has gained some really big pieces to take them over the edge to the point where they feel like they can challenge DEA right out the gate. Here's my question. I've also heard that Lauderhill Lions got some of those kids as well too. What makes the pieces that you got so much better to put you guys in a class with DEA who totally dominated their field last year?
The thing is, the pieces that we have is the pieces that we really need. You get what I'm saying? So it match up with the team that we already had. The Golden Army already had a great team. So with the pieces that we added on this year, it made the team way better than what it was 2 years and the year before last. You get what I'm saying? So with DEA, we know we seen them play. They got a great team, but the matchups of the skill positions and all that we have, I believe we'll get them.
So Herschel, man, the biggest thing now, y'all won't be a regular just FYFL team this year, just playing an FYFL schedule. Talk to me about what you building. Is this a national team? Is this a team that's going to be traveling
Oh,
nationally? Are y'all going
oh,
to be competing nationally?
yo,
Give us the 411.
the Golden Army will be a 13U, true 13U national traveling team. You hear it from me. You heard it from me. 13U, true national team.
So y'all getting on the road, taking on all 13 and under teams on a true 13U. That means y'all turning 14-year-old, 14 under, of course, after July. So what if you had to say a target right now? Of course, DA is on your target right now. Being a national contender, is there some 13-year-olds that you want to jump out the box early and knock off, and put a notch on your belt as a Golden Army?
the main thing we really want DEA, to be honest with you. Like, the coaching style we taught, the kids taught, you know what I mean? We have our meetings, like we built the team to go at DEA. So our main focus is getting our team better, getting the workout on the field, and going at DEA. That's the best team out here right now. I feel like no other team is like really capable of doing what DEA did except us. You get what I'm saying? Especially with the pieces that we got and the team that came down. So I feel like we like I say, we'll get them this year.
Well, Herschel, we can't ignore this
And this ain't
question,
no.
and
And listen,
let's
Joni,
just this
it ain't
is
no.
the
Listen,
realest
Joni,
one we're
and be
gonna ask you. We got to ask you this
going.
question.
What's
You
up?
got one of your biggest nemesis in your backyard. In the last 5 years, y'all have lost to this team maybe 4 out of the 5 times, or 3 out of the 5 times. Not sure on it. This is a lot of Hill Lions. Where does this team now match up? Because Lions have made some changes as well. Will we see a matchup early against y'all in the Lions? Will y'all knock it out early? Y'all used to put it on for the city. It used to be a big clash. We haven't seen that lately. Will we have the big clash back in the city between Lauderhill Lions and Golden Army for the King of 13U in South Florida?
If Omar, I'm down with them. If he accept the fade, the Golden Army gonna be there, off rip. If he accept it, we in their backyard no matter what.
You hear that, Clay?
So, Coach Herschel, I got a question for you. And I'm glad you accepted that challenge. But here's my question. If you take a look at the landscape, right? Let's go through the list. DEA is number one. As of right now, Pearland Hurricanes is not having a 13U, so that removes them. Louisville Chargers is not having a 13U, so that removes them. There's a few other teams that could be in the conversation, but if we're going strictly off of last year, that almost puts the Lauderhill Lions in the number 2 spot in the country right now. You got the number 2 team in the country in your backyard, Coach.
Coach, like I said before, if they accept the fade, Coach, we're willing to play them anywhere, anytime, Coach. We ain't ducking no fade or no game or no team.
Right,
Well, I tell you what, Jonah, if you set that game up, make sure you fly me in that weekend because I want to see you. I want to see you.
Man, if it's one game, and I'll be honest with you, that brings the entire city out, is those 2 teams right there. And it's only right. Listen, this is most likely the last year these both these teams are going to play youth football. Next year they're going to high school. It's only right that
That's
these
why
2
that
teams
game
go
gotta
ahead
happen,
and
though, Joni. That game gotta happen. It's their last year. That game
got it.
gotta happen, no matter what.
It got to happen, man. So we're going to do everything in our power between both head coaches, get that thing lined up, because I can guarantee you one thing, is going to be a lot of D1 kids off both of those teams playing in high school and colleges growing up. And, man, we want to see it one last go around, Herschel. One last go.
All I gotta say is for all the 13U team that's out there, hey, the Golden Army back in effect, man. Hey, DA, when y'all yo.
You heard it here first, man. With Herschel, we appreciate you, bro. Jumping on with us, man. We'll see you out there in Houston, Golden Army. We know how y'all gonna get off that plane, first class style. So go ahead and get it ready, coach.
All right, y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right, man, no doubt. So listen, man,
So
I'm gonna jump right
I
to
already know. I know everybody asking, man, how is this thing gonna work? Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
right
Saturday, you gonna get in Houston. You are gonna get DEA versus Golden Army, right? And
already.
then you're gonna get Lauderhill Lions and the Louisiana Wave. And then
Right.
on Sunday, you're gonna get DEA and Lauderhill Lions, and you're gonna get Golden Army and Louisiana Wave.
I like it.
So we
I
gonna
love
make
it.
sure that if y'all do that Florida matchup, that's gotta happen in Florida, man. You can't
Yeah.
take a
Yeah.
matchup like that and do it in Texas. You gotta
Nah.
have it in South Florida.
You gotta have it. I think that game is growing big enough. They can hold that game in Trash Power and sell it out. That's how big that game is. They can
Ooh,
hold
the
they can hold it
trash.
in Trash Power and sell it out. You know what I'm saying? So listen, before we get out of here, Clay, we gotta holler at this new kids on the block, Atlanta Elite. Coach Mike is in the house from top to bottom. They had a vision, they executed it. It was a part of RDU last year. This year, they just really want to start something new. Coach Mike, welcome to Rankins Uncut. I guess Mike might be on pause for me, Clay.
Man, you know, Mike probably building a laundromat somewhere right now. You know how he
Right,
do. He
right,
always
right, right.
he on some
Straight
construction
instruction.
project shit.
Oh, he got to get off the forklift right now, whatever you're doing, man. So, now I'm really proud of them. You know, they went out there, they had a vision. So, they'll be in Alabama in preseason, man, just really representing Atlanta from a lot of different age groups 7U, 8U, 9U, 10U. I've never really seen a program and an organization come together so quick. But, man, that's just telling you how really well connected they are in their hood. But not just only that, Clay. I mean, if you had to say particular matchups this year, right? What matchups would you like to see? And I know it's early in the year. We haven't seen any of these teams really play yet. But what matchups would just be a dream matchup that you would want to see, even if it's not in preseason, that would happen something along the years? Do you want to see Rare Breeds, or do you want to see SED get a second chance at Rare Breeds? Do you think that game got out of hand? Because if you go back to that game, right,
Oh,
against Rare Breeds and SED, it really got out of hand for SED because I've never seen it as long as I've been calling games in youth football. Rare Breeds touched the ball 4 times, and on each time they touched the ball, on one touch they scored touchdowns. Now that's disheartening. I don't care if you even on a pro level, college level. You know, you could imagine you play defense. I play defense. Could you imagine every
yep.
time you step on the field, another team score? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and you look at the scoreboard and you're like, man, I'm just gonna get through this game and go ahead and get to the club. Because I mean, they were in Miami. It was time to vibe. Did they ever feel at any point, and did you feel at any point during that game that SED could actually get back in the game against Rare Breeds, or did it just the snowball effect just kicked in real early?
So, you know, it's funny because I talked to Coach Street after the game and I kind of gave him some big brother, little brother advice. I said, you know, I felt like that the pregame issues snowballed into Rare Breed's favor. I said, because you got to remember, man, one thing about Coach Mark is a Coach Mark is a I'm trying to think of the perfect word for him because I don't want to say an actor because I know he's not acting. But Coach Mark is a visionary. And when I say he a
Right,
visionary, I imagine Mark probably lay in his bed at night thinking about the night before. How can I go out here and not only shock these people, shock these coaches, shock these kids with some
right,
buffoonery? And that's what Mark does best. Now, you got to
yeah,
take your hat off to him. Mark and his coaching staff, they can coach their ass off. You can't take that away
right,
from them. But Mark is used to that stage. He's used to that type of drama before a game, right? And the
right,
SED kids and the SED coaching staff, that's not how they roll. So I do feel like that the pregame antics helped Rare Breeds walk into the game more focused, and they took control of the game right off the rip.
Yeah.
And it took a minute for SED to kind of gain their composure and start playing their style of football. But by that time, when you got a great team like Rare Breeds, you can't spot them 14 to 21 points and think that you finna just jump back in it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So to answer your question, if I had to say right now, before any of the preseason stuff started, anything like that, any games that I want to see right now, I want to see Rare Breeds and SED play again. I want to see OG Ducks 12U and DEA 12U play again. Now, granted, nobody has seen DEA 12U. This is a new team they putting together. But if the blueprint stays true to what they did last year, I think that's going to be a big game. OG Ducks 12U and DEA 12U. Of course, I want to see RDU 12U and OG Ducks 12U play each other because that's got to settle, the talk of who the true number one team in the country is. Um, I've been hearing some buzz that a team in Louisiana is putting together a all-star team that will be a fall team to challenge
Right.
Howard and CD
Right.
Jags. So I
Right.
want to see that matchup. I want to see if this team from Louisiana can really challenge Howard because right now, man, Howard is probably the most dominant team pound for pound in the country. Would you not agree with
Right.
that, Jonah?
Yeah. Well, I would probably, my personal opinion, what I think pound for pound, I really like the OG Ducks 11U from last year, the 12U. I've heard they added some more. I really like them pound for pound to really just challenge any team as in efficiency, offensively, defensively. I like the OG Ducks. I like Les's coaching style lately, what he's been doing at the 14U. He's hit me early and texted me earlier. He said he's going to be that much more dominant. What we're also forgetting is a Rampage 14U, which was 13U last year. They go up to the 14U division. So you'll have Coach Keefe from OG Ducks. You'll have Buckeye. You'll have Rampage. That's a lot of West Coast power. But we always say for the last couple of years, the 14 and under has really been a dominant age group on the West Coast. For every year they're pumping out powerful teams out of there, and they've been winning the national championships. It was Vegas Strong the year before. It was OG Ducks the year before that. It was last year was the Buckeyes.
OC
For
Buckeyes.
the last 3 years of the YNC, it's been all West Coast national champions at the 14 and under. And they really haven't been challenged that much from any other logistic or geographic area.
Is there anybody that can challenge Rampage, though? I mean, because, of course, like you said, they'll have OG Ducks, they'll have OC Buckeyes, they'll have Vegas Strong. But once you move from the west side of the country on the 14U level, is there anybody else that can really challenge them?
Well, listen, Rampage had some close games last year. If you think about the game that was the first game at the national championships at YNC this year at the 13 and under, they barely got by the teams out of Atlanta. It was a 7-6 game, or we actually went to overtime. Excuse me. So let's not even bring that overtime game up again. That's going to bring up some sore subjects. But there are some teams that can challenge Rampage and was able to contain it. Now, it's a copycat league. You go back and you watch the film on how they were able to defend them. Because they defended them for a while, but then the team just kept scoring and scoring. So I do think Rampage can be challenged. It just is going to take a very good coaching staff. So they are on a coach. Here's the thing about it. Rampage has been moving up with this age group. They've been moving up from 11U, 12U, 13U. The two teams that's really going to challenge them are 14U bona fide coaches. Keefe doesn't move around. He stays at 14U. Les doesn't move around. He stays at 14U. Advantage goes to those coaching staffs because there's something about coaching that particular age group and having the experience how to manage those kids at their age group. But then also advantage goes to Rampage because of the continuity that they've had over the last 5 years. That's been a team that knows each other. The quarterback knows his receivers. The defensive ends are some of the best in the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how that 14 and under really escapes out. But I can tell you this. The national championship probably will be coming through the West Coast at the 14 and under this year once again.
It's got to. Hey man, I think Coach Mike on, man. I think I hear I think I hear him. You hear that?
Man, Mike done faked me out 2 or 3 times, man. I done introduced him. I look crazy. I'm saying, oh, welcome to the show, Mike. And no Mike show up. I ain't introducing Mike no more. Mike just going to have to show up randomly if he getting on this show at this point, bro.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
AG,
come
gonna
on.
drop. There you
Oh,
go.
then
Don't do me like that, Joe. You
I'm
know
done
I'm
with the
rock with you
intros,
hard,
dog. Hey, Mike,
man.
keep my wife name out your.
Hey, what's up, Clay?
What's good, fam? How you doing?
Hey, we good, man. How y'all been, man? How y'all been?
Hey, we
Grinding,
blessed,
brother.
bro. We
Grinding.
blessed, man.
Hey,
So,
it's
man,
late,
what's the
man.
big, what's
These
the
people
haps
got
in
to
the
go to
in the
sleep.
A right now, Mike? You know, it's a
Well,
new
man, you know what
squad, it's a
happened?
new organization in town.
Oh man, what's happening right now, man? We blessed, man. ATL Elite, man. Best organization in Atlanta. We up next. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing, I've been on the show for a minute now. I've been listening to a lot of folks. I don't care how many meetings they have on Thursday. My 8U gonna beat the shit out of everybody that's down there. Because Batman, we lowered it, we strapped. Whoever want it can get it. So they can have a meeting
Right,
every Thursday. Whoever it is, they gonna get their ass beat on
right.
Saturdays. And at that, I want to go over the whole program, guys. We got a great group, man. That 6U group, that RDU team I had at 5, and that College Park team, we put it together. I got a great coaching
Yeah,
staff, man. Which they will be in Texas. At 7U, we got Chase. Do y'all remember Chase Robinson?
yeah,
Y'all remember Chase? Used to have that team, used to fight
yeah.
against Sean Mafia. Yeah, I pulled them down. I got them on the 7U team. Man, we done built the
Oh, that's what's up.
hellified team, man. Huh?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Chase a great
Hey, man.
coach.
Man, great coach. We done built a hell of a team. Coach O, Larry O. You know, we locking in with that team, you know what I'm saying, hands on. We got about 7 kids from FU, got about 10 kids that already played 7U. So look out for that 7U team, man. And then, of course, you know what we doing at 8. You know what I'm saying? We just building, man. But the surprise out of ATL League going to be that Team U team, man. You know what I'm saying? I hear y'all talking about, you know, Lambo. Hey, man, listen, Coach Brad, you know what I'm saying? He the AD at Georgia State. We building the Team U team. Hey, man, we coming to take it all, man. So, hey,
Hey,
man, we
Mike,
excited.
Mike, Mike, Mike. Let me pause you right there, though, man. Let me
Come
pause
on
you
with
right there. I'm gonna let you talk about everybody else, but let me pause you right there. I'm on record right now. I'm telling you,
Uh,
Howard has the most dominant team in the country, pound for pound. How can you
yeah.
match up with that?
Well, listen. I can't knock Howard. You know what I'm saying? Howard and them cool, man. I rock with them. You know what I'm saying? But understanding though, as you get up in them ages, you got to keep coaching. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we have put together a team, just not players wise, coaches wise. That you know, what I'm saying we're gonna be
Okay.
able to, rise to the. My first national championship came at TU. So Team U my specialty. Y'all know that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we putting together the team, man, that we're gonna be able to flick it, throw it around, and play fast defense, man. So hey, we're excited, man.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I want to say Georgia. I want to say how I have some of the most legendary running backs out of Georgia right now that's on that team. You know, what's
True.
the game plan to come in and slowing that offense down, man? I mean, that's what
Well,
you got to
well,
stop. Big backs.
we gap killers, man. You know what I'm saying? So understand. We like to get there before it gets started. You know what I'm saying? So one
Right.
thing about it, man, listen, you beat them gaps up, a lot of great things happen. You know what I'm saying? But again, though, shots out to Howard. I don't want to take nothing from that CD team. You know what I'm saying? I rock with them. You know what I'm saying? I rock with the organization. Val, a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? So hey, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna put it on the line. But just know, guys, that's gonna be a great game. Ain't gonna be no rollover,
Yeah.
nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And also at 11U, you know what I'm saying? I got Coach Crab and Coach Ant. They done put it together for their RDU and FU, and we add a couple of pieces from all over Atlanta. Hey, man, we're excited. So, I hear, Red Breed does have a good team, but, at the end of the day, man, hey, them kids got to play. Coaches can't do it.
But I can tell you,
You right about
Clay, I
that?
don't agree with you about you. One of the other teams you might have to put in the mix as one of the most dominant teams in the country is his 8 and under right now. Coach
Yes,
Backman,
sir.
man, every time they get on the football field, man, it's a
All right.
blowout. It's
All right.
a straight blowout. So,
Hey,
and they've been
straight
doing
flow
this
out
in
of
6U, 7U. Yeah.
Yep. And one thing about it, man, the way back work, man, the time he put in with them kids, man, they buy in, even with the all new.
Look like Coach and froze up on me. They got him in a nice little pose. They're going to probably make a meme for
They
him.
gonna make a meme. They gonna make a meme of this brother. They gonna make a meme of Mike just like that. Hey, Mike, you better
Just
not
like
lose
that.
because this meme
Hey,
right here
hey,
gonna be all
I
over
hear,
the
you know how
internet if
many
you do.
screenshots I'm hearing right now, Clay?
Oh, oh
Hey,
man.
man. Well, listen, we ain't going to keep these people up too late, but listen, let's talk about Alabama, Houston, Cali. Let's see them flyers real quick, man. Y'all got to start hitting us up real quick. We're going to start finalizing all these matchups. Alabama is going down August 6th and the 7th, preseason national. And why do you attend these games? Why do you play? This is for our scouting team to start rocking you into the national rankings early in the season. This is for you to play some national competition. Get out there. Don't play your local teams, man. Get out of state. Get out there and get in that area. Get your kids on the road. Give them that experience. I'm going to tell you, coaches, if you ain't playing national this year, you're going to lose some of your big players. I'm telling you right now, get out there. And this is a way for you to do it early in the season, August 6th through the 7th. And then right after that, man, we going to hometown Texas for Clay.
Well,
I'll
hold
be in the
on before you
spot
go
where
to
we
Texas
hitting
though,
Gino's
Jonah.
dope restaurant.
Before you go to
Huh?
Texas, we gotta
Yeah.
let the people know they want to ask. I'm gonna tell you right now. CD Jags is gonna be in the building. Atlanta Elite gonna be in
Yeah.
the building. Maryland Heat gonna be in the building. Bessemer Tigers gonna be in the building.
Oh,
Louisiana
yeah.
Wave gonna be in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Montgomery Gators gonna be in the building. I mean, the
Oh,
list
yeah.
goes on and on. The list of competition and matchups we have at Alabama is going to be stupid. Stupid.
Gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. And of course, we'll be live streaming. We'll be making movies out there under the radar. Be out there, absolutely. So
Aria,
that is where you get the first
I'm on
taste
the
of the
Zoom.
season all year, August 6th through the 7th. It's gonna definitely be a vibe. Y'all won't want to miss it. Now, Big Texas. You see your flag in the background there. You see how we made that little vibe for you there, Clay. The Texas flag off in the cut. So listen, it's not
Hey,
really your hometown. You're a little far away from home. It's not in San Antonio. We're gonna be all the way in Houston. But tell people what they can expect in the city of Houston when they come out there, brother.
so I can tell you this, man. In Houston, we're gonna have some great matchups. The first thing right off the rip, and I think I put a little teaser out there yesterday. There's not gonna be any more competitive 11U feel than what you're gonna see in Houston. You're gonna have the defending. This is gonna be the first time ever in one place. The defending
Right,
YNC, AYF, and UYFL national champions all are gonna be there. You're gonna have
wow,
the YNC runner-up. You're gonna have a YNC semifinalist in Northside Pride, runner-up in SCD, and Air Academy, who was the AYF champion 2 years ago. When I
the
tell you it's
previous
going
year.
to be so much heat there, not to mention on A in the building. You're going to have the two Florida powerhouses on 13U. You're going to have the Lauderhill Lions as well as the Golden Army. Like I said,
Right,
they've got a team coming out of Louisiana that's got a bunch of buzz behind them. You're going to have those guys in the building. Man, you got RDU. You hear me? RDU will be in the building in Houston. Atlanta Elite. You heard Coach Mike say it himself. Atlanta Elite will be down in Houston. It's going to be
right.
so many great games. If you are a football fanatic, you need to be there. Not to
Oh
mention,
yeah,
you
it's
got
gonna be
some
a
of the
vibe.
best teams from Houston, from San Antonio, and from Dallas Fort Worth area going to be in the building. You know the boys from Oklahoma coming down too. It's gonna be stupid, bro. It's gonna be stupid.
Oh yeah, I already heard OG Duck sliding through too all the way to Texas. So and that's crazy because we have an event right in their
Oh,
backyard, but they still want to come to Texas.
still, and I also forgot about that.
Right.
So they got a team from Arizona on 12U that's coming down to say they finna change the landscape of the game.
Ooh.
And of
Talk to
course,
me about
my
them
boys from
snack
More Truth,
boys.
they gonna be there. More Truth definitely gonna be
Right.
there because they want they get back at Coach DeMarcus and Gold Blooded Titans. So hey man, it's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be a movie. And of course, man, we always have a blast on the West Coast. Everybody wants to go to Cali. My phone blows up, man. Can we give me the tickets for California, Joan? It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be a vibe. Absolutely, it's gonna be a vibe, man. So what we'll be doing over the next week and a half is really just locking all these teams in. Once we lock in, that's it. We'll just go ahead and close the door, man. We'll have our matches set, and that's it. So listen, 4 quarters of football. There won't be any running clocks. These are true games. So we know when you go ahead and play your money and you get on those planes, you want to have a full game and you want competition. So we're not going to rush you in out of there and play 20 minutes and just get it and call it a game. No, you'll have 4 quarters of football, multiple games that you'll play. And what better stage? Of course, AG will be out there. That's his backyard. We'll make sure we making movies all year, live streaming, so people can see your teams play on a dominant level. And most importantly, we get the early seedings for your teams for the national rankings. Now, very important, national rankings happen in 2022. If you're not playing a national schedule, we cannot put you in national rankings. So that just says it all for itself. If you're not playing a national schedule, we cannot put you in national rankings. You're playing your local schedule, then there's other people who can rank you in your state for those particular things. But this is in regards to national championships. So you got those Alabama, Texas, California. It's time to jump out early, get on the national scene, get your name heard early, get the early work. And this is really, Clay, I'll tell you this. The preseason, it's great to talk about the rankings, but it's really about to see what you got as a coach, because you're gonna go play some teams. You're gonna coach against some things that you're not used. Because here's the thing about youth football. Majority when you coach the teams that you play, you see them year in and year out. If you're on 6U, that coach moves up to 7U. You play him. You play the same kids. You get familiar with those teams. Man, when you flying in and you had never seen this coaching style before, you never seen this running back, you need to say quarterback, it's a great experience for your whole organization, man. So be a part of this national movement. Be a part. If you like, make sure you hit up either on info@genx.com or at Youth National Championships, info@youthnationalchampionships.com. Give us your team so we can go ahead and start locking you in. We want to see your teams early in the preseason, but we want to give you the experience. And I can tell you, when it comes to YNC, there's no better facilitated organization in regards to playing some good, clean football. The police is there. You got your referees there. It's going to be a clean type of event for the whole entire weekend. Alabama, Texas, and Cali. Man, what you eating there, bro? You grubbing up, fam?
Listen, bro, I ain't ate no dinner yet. My wife just walked in and dropped off some cookies. I'm fucking these hoes up, nigga. I'm fucking them up.
Hey, man, well, Clay, man, it's good catching up with your fam. We're getting ready. As we get closer, we'll do this next week. We'll have some new guests that we'll talk about some of these premier matchups. As we get closer, we'll bring on some of those opposing coaches that they'll be facing in Alabama and Texas. And let some of those coaches.
Coach Street, we bringing you on next week. Don't work, baby. Coach Street, we got you.
Yeah. Don't run from it. Don't run from it, man. And, man, yeah, we're excited about it, Clay. So, like I said, man, next week we'll come around. And then we'll have what we call a mock ranking of where we think which are going to be some of the number 1 teams in the nation in each particular age group. From Clay and Jonah, you'll hear what we think our number 1 team is going to be. That's right.
That's what it
next week. That's
Jonah.
right. Tune in.
Oh, man. Fuck Jonah. Fuck Clay. That's cool. I'll be the fuck nigga. That's
Clay
cool.
only like Texas teams.
Yeah. Yeah, all that shit.
Oh, come look at us. We don't rank we bias. Man. Hey, man. But thanks for joining us. As always, man, we're going to let Clay go eat his dinner. My man Al in the back. Shout out to my man over there. Sandra's over there doing the mega mix in the background as well. So add it to the production team off in the cut. And man, until next week, I'm Jonah Wood, Clayton Gillard. We'll see you right here, Rankings Uncut. Next Thursday is going down.
No doubt.